One, two, three. Testy. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure everybody can hear me now. I'm pretty sure. Can hear me in this motherfucker, right? All right. But like I was saying, right? Um, that 2, 3 in the morning, them be some great. You got to get up. You do. You got to see what's shaking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, um, what I was talking about previously was environments and how those environments can have an effect on your mind. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, sometimes you can put, uh, you can input. Oh, my bad. Golly, that's for myself. God damn. Anyways, right? So I was talking about environments and how they can have an effect on people's minds. One thing I do understand is that you have some people that they it's like a counter. I'm gonna show you what I mean though. Like you can have some people consciously inside of environment and they feel as though like they never will make it out. Now, what you got to understand with the environment has its own mind too. It does. You're not looking at it as such, but it's a mind that's around you. And how I look at it is like this. Okay, the city that people live in, right? Majority of these cities are named by someone, okay? And when you know that, you should look at it like this. Okay, the city that I'm in is called Rochester, New York. This is not where I'm from, just where I'm visiting, okay? Now, what I had to understand was this. The name is Rochester, but there's how can I say, an individual named Rochester Nathaniel, okay? And so how I looked at the environment is from his state of mind, his projection of how he viewed the world. Why? You see what I'm saying? So I look at it like, okay, this is the state of mind of Rochester Nathaniel. This is how he look at the world. Now, if I follow the environment that he left in front of us, right? Guess what happens? The environment now conquers my mind, and guess what? I am nothing more than a reflection of Rochester Nathaniel. Why is that? Is because the environment that you are in is nothing more than a mind statement of what he was in. This is how he viewed certain people. And so the environment that you are in is the same mind state that he's seen everyone else in. So do you follow that? Or do you say, you know what? I understand the environment and I know how I should play, right, in order to get out of this environment. So that's how I've been looking at things. A lot of people they don't look at it as such. Like, are you telling me it's bro, I tell you, it's like being inside of a game, right? And you on the board, you fighting, but you don't realize that this whole board, right, has everything to do with someone else's mind state, right? You, you won't look at it as such. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the city that you live in, when you do a Google search on the name is tied to someone. And when you look at the picture of that individual, then you read the history of them, then you look at outside and you can see like, okay, I get it now. I never even looked at it like that. Perspectives when it comes to like the environments that we are in, if we looked at it like, okay, we live in a state, right? But also a state can also be a state of mind, a state of conscious. You see what I'm saying? So how I view it is these are the states of minds that they want people to be in. And I'm gonna show you the difference though. Okay, like say like red and blue, right? Red and blue states, right? If you pay attention to how corporate structure and business structure, right, is within both of those states, you will come to understand like, yo, being honest with you, there are a lot more entrepreneurs, right, in red states than blue states. That lets you know the creation of businesses happen a lot more in red states than blue states. So that lets you know when it comes to creativity, there's more creativity in red states than blue states. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like when you have creativity, guess what happens? The game keep on upgrading. Right. You see what I'm saying? When you take creativity off the table, guess what happened? You make a game and remain the same. It never upgrades. Now, anyone know when you play anything in life, or let's say you just eat food, sooner or later you're going to get sick and tired of the same rotation of what you're receiving over and over and over. You are, because you're going to want something different. You're going to be like, okay, I already ate this, I want to try this out. See what I'm saying? Now, if your mind, I'm gonna say this too though. If your mind is not into creativity, then I can understand why you don't try new things. I can understand that. But I'm talking about a creative mind. That's more like I want to create for myself. I want to be within creativity. You're going to try new things. You're not going to want to stay in the same algorithm because you're looking at life like, okay, I'm living right now. I got a decision to experience all this stuff if I want to or if I don't want to. You see what I'm saying? So like it's like what's the point in living if you don't want to do everything that you want to do? For me, that's how I look at life. Like what's the purpose of life? For me, some people say to live truth, some people say to maybe live as a lie, right? But for me, it's to make all the decisions that I want to make. Yeah, there we go. That sounds great. All the decisions that I want to make, right? So that's how I look at life. You know what I'm saying? For me, I can't speak for everybody else. Everybody have their own purpose of why they live in or whatever the case may be. But for me, I look at it as, yeah, I want to make all the decisions I want to make. Yeah, I don't want to leave the earth and be like looking at the earth like, damn, I'm transcending, but damn, I wish I would have did this. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be one of those. Yeah, you don't want to be one of those. You want to be one of those ones like, yeah, I did everything. I did everything I wanted to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I say that is because of this. Let me show you why. When you get to do everything that you want to do, right? You got to always understand with every experience. It don't matter if it's good, bad, it don't matter. What you got to understand in every experience is that within experience, right, there's information and data within that experience of putting your conscious into knowing yourself more. Thank you. I'm trying to tell you, some people get stuck in between that realm of good and bad. Forget all that. Go in there, right? See what the play is about. See what information and data that you can extract out of the situation. Use that information and data to upgrade the technology of your mind. That's it. Most people minds get stuck on the action of what they just experienced. Pay attention to your mind. Your mind is playing that experience over and over and over. And the reason why your mind is doing that is because it's in an algorithm of this is what happened and this is the only thing that you're paying attention to, thinking. Now, are you going to look at the situation, evaluate it, right, and figure a way how to prevent it from happening again? Thank you. That's where your mind should be at. The mind already located the problem already. The mind shouldn't stay focused on the problem though. I know your mind is not supposed to. Let me show you why. When you do adding and subtracting, right, you locate the problem. Thank you. Then you apply a solution. And this is where you get the answer. So if you get the answer in mathematics, it's the same way in life. Right. It's the same way in life. It's just that sometimes we stay stuck on those problems versus a solution. And where we're going to get at if we just put problem in the mind, we're not going to get nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to locate problems, locate errors, yeah. But to stay on them for like weeks and months at a time, years, nah. That's the part where basically, how can I say, you're focusing on something and you're not realizing that you're making it into something bigger than what it is, right? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's just like something happens, and some people they like it's as if you don't want to talk about it. Nah, not it's not that I don't want to talk about the issue. It's just that I'm more focused on the solution. So when the solution comes to me, then I'll speak about it. Yeah, because it's like I feel like with sometime in this world, I feel like in this world they give you a problem, just see if you're gonna talk about it. And if you never talk about the problem, I feel like consciously that's a higher level because a problem came to you, you don't talk about the shit, and you just apply straight solution. You know, most people think about it. Something happened, they're gonna speak about it. You see what I'm saying? Then when they speaking about it, they don't know subconsciously that they could be putting their mind in that algorithm. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like, especially like with people, when they come and give you a problem, it's more like, how can I say, don't internalize it. Yeah, don't. Because I'm gonna say this. You know how you have a problem and it don't really consist of other people, it's just something that you have to do with yourself. Always look at it as that. Always look at it as that. Because then you're gonna start understanding things at a deeper level. You could be looking at a situation, right? It don't have nothing to do with the next person, bro. It look like it do, but it really don't. It's how you gonna move in the situation. That's it. Well, how you gonna move is based on the outcome you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in the woods. Somebody trying to do something to you, right? And then you do something. Now, what you gotta understand is this, and this is the dynamics of the game. Some people can view someone and they will look at them and say, "Oh, they ain't gonna do nothing." But then that person probably went through something and they're prepared for anything to happen. And then so the outcome that's in that person's mind, it don't play in their favor. It start playing in the favor of the next individual. Do you know why? Because they have went through this before. They have went through situations where people um are on self-hate, self-destruction, and they want to throw it onto that next individual. They can do that. But then in this situation, it could become something that they can't handle. Do you see what I'm saying? It could the situation they can be consumed. Do you see what I'm saying? So, you know, while people are practicing this, self-destruction, self-hate program, they can do that, but outlashing on someone else, it can lead to a situation where that be the last time they do that. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, based on what you're experiencing, right, is based on what's going to put your mind into the knowing. You see what I'm saying? And so the knowing is really your guide to guide your conscious in everything that you're supposed to do. You see what I'm saying? It's like sometimes we got to get out of these algorithms of I don't want to do this. And then when you do it, you see the outcome and you start realizing like, okay, I get it. Like this got to be done. I have to do this. You see what I'm saying? Some things I ain't gonna say some, but majority of things is what you have to do. We've been like I feel like in the mind we've been set to feel like, oh, we not supposed to do this. Like, yes, you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to do this. So, certain things I just be like, damn, you telling me, mom, you get this program where everything it don't help me. Yeah. Then the mind start going through things and start looking at things a little bit more different, evaluating things more different, and then moving a little bit more different. You see what I'm saying? Where when the situation arises again, you prepared for it. You see what I'm saying? Like some people they'll go through something and they don't understand, like, yo, shit be like the Neo course, bro. Yeah, just like in the Matrix, bro. Sometime you not going when you jump that building, you not going to land it the first time. You not. Sometimes you just not. Okay? You not sometimes. But that don't mean that you focus on that. Let me show you. You gotta slow this thing down because it go too fast. Pay attention. When you went to go leap to the next building, right? You didn't know what was going to happen, but you knew I gotta do some type of action in order to get to the next building. Thank you. Now you hop in the air. You still feel confident, but you like, man, what the fuck, man? I'm in the air, bro. What the fuck? Right? Now, right there, that's the flaw. You don't know what to do. See, you in the air, but you like, yo, bro, I don't know what to do, bro. And then guess what happens? Hit the concrete, right? But then you don't shatter. Yeah, because this is a world of mistakes. Thank you. Thank you. You made a mistake. It don't it don't mean that the game over with. No, look at Neo. Didn't he get back up? Okay then. So you know what you got to do, right? You got to figure out what part of your mind is not allowing you to jump to the next building. You got to destroy that belief system. Thank you. That's what happened. Okay? It's not no, oh, he just fell down. No. His mind got to know, right? What is limiting his conscious from from leaping from one building to the next. Okay? All right. Shit is easy tech if you just understand yourself. Got it? All right. Now I'm gonna get to that next fucking building. You damn right. Yeah, ain't nothing about to fucking stop me. Fuck all that. You damn right. You telling me I could leap from this motherfucker to this motherfucker? Yeah, yeah. That's free transportation. Hell yeah. Where I get the flying shit at? Man, fuck them at the bottom. I don't give a fuck about none of that. Anyways, how I get to fly again? You gotta teach me. Yeah, I'm with all that shit. I'm with all that. Yeah. I'm not with none of this other like what is this old downgrades and shit? Yeah, I'm not with none of that. I'm with a world people flying around, doing different abilities. Yeah, I'm with stuff like that. I'm not with the like we just gonna be human and never upgrade. Hell no. Fuck all that. That's some boring ass shit. Hell yeah, that's some boring shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. You know? Shit is brazy tech out here. Uh. Baby, ain't I beautiful? I don't even you knew what it was saying on this end over here. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you, I be, bro, I be cracking up. The humans don't know how to say it the correct way though. They'll be alright. They'll be alright. I don't take it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be alright. They don't know how to use you gotta always realize, right? The AI that they be reading from, it don't get them like proper English, how to say things the correct way. You see what I'm saying? So it said the incorrect way, and then it feels as though like it's correct. You see what I'm saying? So what I always understand with people in America is simply is this: if you put something in front of them like a Michael Jackson, I'm gonna show you this shit. This shit is crazy. Watch this. If you put Michael Jackson in front of people that are born like 2000s or yeah, I want to say 2000s, right? Or maybe a little bit more earlier as well. If you put Michael Jackson, anybody like Prince or Jimi Hendrix in front of them, they won't get to know them at all. They won't do no research on their life at all. But based on how they view them, right? People will label them as something. Yeah, I noticed that. Now, if you take Michael Jackson, Prince, right, and Jimi Hendrix back to their timeline, a lot of people wouldn't say the things that people are saying in 2000s. Thank you. Shit is fake. It's a fake ass world we in, baby. That lets you know, like, why is that? Because a lot of people are they can't see like truthfully. They see things as a lie. Thank you. So someone can view something beautiful and they'll label it as something as a lie. Yo. Ooh, baby, ain't that the truth? I'm trying to tell you. That is the truth. Most people gotta project what they are. It's not saying that's what you are. Most people in the mechanics of their mind don't even know how to do proper research. They would just literally view something and be like, oh yeah, it's this. Anytime you see someone doing that, that's not a real being. That's an AI. That's an AI. Only an AI would do something like that. Yeah, because an AI feel as though like, oh, I know everything. Like, of course. That's what AIs do. Yeah. Think about it. AI wouldn't ask you a question. The AI, your phone, not asking you questions. So as a person, I'm just looking at the mechanics of a person's mind, right? Repeating the mechanics of an AI. That's it. I don't care if they do that. That's upon their own conscience. It have nothing to do with me. A lot of people move like computers, though. When you pay attention to the mechanics of their mind, though, for real. Ooh, isn't that right? All human beings know everything. Even human beings believe they God. Ain't that something? They go, no, we not. No, we don't think like that. Yeah, okay. What you want me to do? Go back and keep lying to my conscience? Human beings don't try to play like they God. Come on now. Look at what Blood said. Blood said, did you know your toes are roots and connectors to the earth? Let me update your tech real quick. We got someone that's smart in here, y'all. Let's share some more knowledge. You got your book, I got my book too. Want to share some knowledge? Let's share some knowledge with each other, right? So I'm gonna read that comment again. That was a great comment. Did you know your toes and are roots and connectors to the earth? Let's get to the data points, right? So let's go into the popular word that everyone loves so much, grounding. Let's go into that, right? Give me a second. Now, I'm gonna take some of your knowledge and include it. That way, both of the knowledges can wrap around together. Okay? That way, they're not separate from each other. Okay? All right. Let's get to the data points, right? So, most people like grounding, right? Which is great. But a lot of people don't understand that when you're grounding, there's many things that are taking place that maybe you don't understand just yet. Okay? So, let's pay attention to the toes, right? And let's pay attention to a plant. Okay? Now, the plant has roots. You have feet that have toes, right? What you got to understand is that the both of them, right? Roots are designed in order to have a connection with the consciousness of the earth. The conscious of the earth sends information and data through the roots now into the plant. Now, right, what I had just said, is that the same thing that's happening to you? Are you requesting information and data from the planet? Or are you just doing, I'm just sitting? No, you're not just sitting, even if you're not requesting. Yeah. So technically, while your feet are within the planet, you're receiving information and data. Even if you're aware or unaware of it, you're still receiving information and data. Now, whatever information and data that you stumble upon is based on what you may need to know in your experience. I know nothing of that because I'm not within your experience or within your consciousness. I don't know what you're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? But what I do understand when it comes to grounding is that you are receiving information and data from the planet. If a plant that's connected to the planets, right, that shares information and data amongst each other, then it's the same thing as the hardware as the vessel. The hardware of the vessel can receive information and data of anywhere that consists of software. You see what I'm saying? And software that I look at is more of information and data that some people call food, some people call things different things. But I look at software as information and data from the sun, water, everything that you can intake consciously. I look at it as software, including the hardware of the television when it projects information and data towards your consciousness. That's software as well. The information and data. I'm not talking about the hardware of the TV, but the software that's being projected and remembered in your consciousness, that's software to me. You see what I'm saying? So, like I was saying before, like what bro was saying, the connectors. You know what I'm saying? When it comes towards like the roots, and they also come towards your feet, they are technically connectors, like what bro just said. So it's like, when you have connectors, you have to understand that what are you connecting to consciously? Right. You see what I'm saying? So it's like once you connect, right, now we all understand that if you connect the internet towards your phone, right, the phone and the internet are both paired, but the both of them are sharing information and data. In order for the phone to be connected to the internet, you see what I'm saying? It has to have some type of internet source. But also the internet consists of information and data. You see what I'm saying? So it's like without them having a connection, no new information and data is being uploaded. You see what I'm saying? So it's like having a vessel, right? And you like, yo, when the last time you got an update? What? What you mean an update? You talking about my phone? You gotta understand. The phone is a replica of you. Without you, the phone don't exist. Pay attention now. The phone came into existence and created humans. Come on now. We know that's a lie. Okay? So, with that being said, right? When you're on your phone, when you're in the planet, the plants, everything need data. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't been taught, yo, these ain't really feet right here. These is connectors. What? And when we connect with the earth, we can receive information and data from the earth just as much as from the plants. Oh, but we don't look at it as such. We look at it as something else. You know what I'm saying? So we look at it from. I'm gonna show you how conscious, and I'm not separating, but how things have became separated. Let me show you. Let's say me and you walk inside of a grocery store, right? If we both walk inside the grocery store, based on consciousness, right, we can view things differently from each other. Watch. When you walk inside the store, what do you see? You see food. Great. That's for your conscious. Okay. Now, if you're not in the controlment spell, right, then you're going to understand, like, okay, this is what I'm viewing. Right. Now, when I walk in here, I understand that a store, right, stores information and data. Now, the information and data that's inside the store consists of really two information sources. It consists of either produce, and produce is either to produce the intelligence of the mind and the body, or you have another information source, artificial ingredients. Now, your body in the inside has a vitamin code system and mineral code system. So the information and data that's within your vessel is the same information and data that you're supposed to put within. Simple setups. Now, what happens if you go outside of the information and data that's already within you? What happens? Slow it down. When I said produce, right? Just because I'm calling it produce, you have to understand what all produce need solar intelligence that you sun. Okay. So let's pay attention to the data. When it comes to all plants have a source of information and data of soul. Okay. So when you look at plants, you may look at them as plants, but I look at them as solar information and data that I'm receiving, that I know that's within there, that you know that's within there. You may not view it as such, but I do. So, with that being said, right, let's say, right, you have these two information sources. What happens if people step outside of the natural system that's within them? It's already within them already. This is something that no one can deny. All hardwares of a vessel have vitamin code systems and mineral code systems that they all should obey by. But if you step out of the system, what happens? I mean, if you have artificial ingredients, right? Okay, artificial ingredients. Always understand that everything that you intake or consume, you become. So, based on that level, that's got to be some type of conscious. You may look at it as, oh no, it's just food. Food come down to information and data. Okay. And so how I'm viewing it is as this as well is that if you step outside of what's already within you, how I'm paying attention to it is this. You have artificial ingredients. Artificial, A, ingredient I. This is a form of AI, if you ask me. You may not look at it as such, but I do. Because I can understand that the information and data that's within these artificial ingredients do not align with the information and data of my vessel. The hardware of my vessel identifies vitamins and minerals. So it has a vitamin code system and mineral code system. Anything outside of that, my body does not identify what it is. Do you see why my body's rejecting it? Why I just pooped it out? Because none of the information and data identifies within the vessel. Thank you. This is why you're receiving waste. You looking at waste like, oh, I'm supposed to. No, no, no. You're supposed to use the restroom. But what I'm saying is this: if you just consumed a lot of information and data, and you go use the bathroom, and you can look in the toilet and see that majority of that information and data was not even intake, it lets you know like this information source that you're eating from has no information and data to identify with your vessel so your vessel can hold on to the information and data. That's what's going on. So you may eat, it's like, I'm gonna show you this. Pay attention to the setup. Watch. Eat 5 oranges. Let's go see if you take a shit. You're gonna be like, bro, I did not take a shit. Thank you. Go eat a big ass watermelon. Why are you not shitting? Now, go over here and eat McDonald's. Why are you shitting? You're not looking at that, are you? I am. I know this. I know, like, eat eat from all information and data sources, right? That are natural in your vessel. You're gonna be like, bro. I mean, I still take shits, not as much as you used to when you used to eat that fast food shit, right? Why? Do you know what that means? Let me show you. It's not a bad thing. Let me show you. Whenever you eat something and the information and data, let's say the percentage of the information and data identifies with your vessel, let's say vitamins, right? You're eating from a source that consists of just straight vitamins, right? Guess what's going to happen? The information and data that you are receiving, that you say you're eating, right? The information and data is going to be extracted. When it gets extracted, the technology of your body has the ability to hold it. Okay. So your vitamin system is going to go up. It's not going to let it go because the information and data of that vitamin identifies with the same information and data of the vitamin that's in your vessel. So it has to hold on to each other. They pair with each other, they partner with each other, just like Bluetooth. We got to hold on to the connection because we got the same connection. Thank you. Okay. So when it comes to that, right, let's go back to what bro was talking about. The plants, right? Grounding, right? The connectors, right? It's the same thing. Your feet pair with the consciousness of the earth, right? But you don't have to understand that feet are definitely roots. When you step outside of consciousness of separation, right, and then you understand conscious within connection, right, you're going to understand that things are the same. I'm creating separation by calling them feet, toes, roots. That's what I'm doing in front of you. Are you consciously aware to understand I'm using two different words in front of your conscious to create separation in front of you. I called them two different things. That creates separation. But if I step outside of separation and pay attention to the functionality and how both digital devices function together, then this puts my conscious into knowing how both of them are the same. I'm going to do it again in front of you. Roots, your toes. I created separation in front of you. Are you going to accept that? Because when you accept that, guess what I just did in front of you? I just stonewalled the information and data to you. But you can't look at me as I'm wrong because that's what your conscious accepts. I'm only giving you what you want. Now, if you step past that and say, you know what? I feel like it's something more that I can know. Okay. When you implant your feet into the conscious of the earth, and then you implant the roots, right, inside the conscious of the earth, now you're going to say to me, stop telling me they're feet and roots. Because based on what I'm viewing, both of them implants. Okay. Now you're paying attention to reality because you're right. Both of them do implants. So if they implant, what's the next step? They receive information and data. Let's see if we can play a magic trick. So the feet and the roots are receiving information and data? No. Both connectors are receiving information and data from the planet. We got a live one here. Okay. All right. All right. All right. We got someone online. Shit, Brazy Tech out here, ain't it? Mind can upgrade, right? I'm trying to tell you, based on the information and data that you want to hold on to. You know what I'm saying? So that was a great conversation right there, wasn't it? That's what I said. Once you kind of understand with your mind that we were taught to create separation, and that's really a self thing, you step outside of that box. You're gonna start understanding, like, oh my God, bro. Pay attention to your reality. Setups. Watch. Watch this. You sleep in the bed, you watch a TV. That's separation. But the connection that the both of them have is that both of them is the same shape. Damn. You think that's a coincidence? It's not a coincidence. Oh, that's not a coincidence. Bro said, someone said, look at this. Someone said they tapped in, but it turns out the Earth has 80 HD. I don't know about none of that. I don't know about none of that. I don't know nothing about that. Anyways, um, bro, it's funny as hell. This bro said, uh, this uh, this has analyzed the shit out of thousands to realize this. Okay, all right. We're reading a couple of comments. We're gonna get right back into the topic in just a minute. Let's see this right here. We don't do none of those. Someone said, "Ah, yes, solar intelligence." Oh, 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 oh. We're gonna talk about that in just a minute. Someone said, "Greetings from Detroit." I'm done. Oh shit! Greetings. I'm done. Yeah, they probably went somewhere else into orbit, or you probably took their conscious somewhere to fucking orbit, bro. What? I'm just trying to help people out. Yeah, you do, but then you take your ass for the goddamn ride. You do. You do the magic school bus on people's shit and don't even realize it. Like, bro, did you put them back in their vessel? Like, oh, let me go check. You gotta get in the bus. Get in the bus. Damn. Almost left your ass out here on Mars. Get in. No way. Like you gotta understand things can get so high tech in consciousness that you gotta come to the person like, yo, you good? Now you still in there, right? No, 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 stop. We dropped you back off in your vessel, right? You good? You in there, right? Like, yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I don't want to drop a motherfucker off into space and they fucking just floating out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get on the magic school bus real quick. Get in. Just about to leave this shit. Okay. All right. That's what the magic school bus was about, though. Uh-huh. And then hop into consciousness and then leave the old conscious. Yeah, because it's like this. Think about it. The magic school bus was at least teaching you, right, certain things about your vessel, your body, right? And your thoughts of what you thought they were, once you looked at the magic school bus, your thoughts was pretty much erased. Then you started realizing things that you got to learn that's within the vessel that you can view and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of brazy that it kind of got rid of those type of cartoons for kids and shit. Ain't that kind of crazy? Think about that. As adults, right? I know some adults don't want to see their kids to be successful because they didn't become successful. God damn, the hate be already inside the family. I'm not supposed to say that. I know. I'm gonna say it anyway, okay? Because that's the truth today. You understand? Yeah, you thinking that hate is on the outside. Shit. How much hate you experience in your damn family. And how many times you magic tricked your own fucking mind to literally be abused by that hate. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I don't give a fuck about none of those titles when it come to family and stuff. Yeah, those words mean nothing. The actions mean everything. Thank you. I'm your mother and father, and you should respect us and honor us, and so your days could be long. Sounds like a fucking threat. It does sound like a threat. Sounds like a threat. Stop, man. Let me ask you a question real quick. So if I go outside the program of what y'all want me to be, right? Is that when y'all spirit a rod on me and shit? So when I become myself, it's called fuck me? Thank you. Right? When I make mistakes, fuck you. That's some fucked up parenting skills. That's fucked up. No, because if I have a son and he make mistakes, he don't repeat his mistakes, but he make mistakes in order to know what his mistakes are. I'm not getting mad at him for that. Yeah, he don't know what it is. Didn't you make mistakes? Yes, you're right. Just because you became an adult don't mean you're perfect. Why you think you live in a day? Okay then, fuck out of here. Trying to hear that shit. Everybody, kids is bad and this, that, and the third. Shit, the environments that they are in is the reason why they acting the way they acting. Okay? All right. The sad thing that I would say about children is this, yo. This the only thing I'm gonna say to kids. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm on. Okay? If you are a child, right? Let's say you are standing in public, right? And then you hear someone tell you, like, yo, listen, you know what I mean? Just trying to give y'all some words of encouragement. The things that y'all see in America, right? Just being honest with you. I try to tell some kids, I'm like, listen, the state of New York, just being honest with y'all, right? A lot of millionaires is leaving here. Okay? Pay attention to the ignorancy that's in their minds. Watch. I'm just telling them, like, yo, a lot of millionaires, they leave in New York State. So New York State as a whole, it's gonna get bad in here. If the state of mind of New York does not do something. You know what I'm saying? The kids, they looked up at me, stood up, and then walked away. So when I seen that, I'm not mad at their decision because that's their decision. But I understand in that moment, if they stay with that type of consciousness, they're going to experience a lot of things in New York State that they're going to be like, damn, I see what he was talking about. I mean, at least the message came, right? Right. If someone is speaking to you consciously outside of the program that you're in, you might want to pay attention to if you're a kid. As an adult, you don't have to pay attention to kids. Shit, you really don't. Do what the fuck you want to do. As a kid, you may want to pay attention, okay? Because what happens is you walking away from that person, what you're doing with the technology of your mind, intelligence is being uploaded from one conscious now to your conscious so you can be informed. If you take your conscious away from that conscious, guess what happens? You're no longer informed. You're now back in the third dimension of ignorancy. See, I know the average person is looking like, if I walk away from you, it's going to have that has nothing to do with me. But I can say, as a futurist, I can literally say, if you know what's to happen in the future, a lot of people are going to reject you, resent you. Yeah, it's going to be like you're going to be in a world just with yourself. But this is the advantage. You get up before them. They don't even know how to get up. Do you see? So when it comes to intelligence, don't remain on the scenes of what people are doing. Remain on the scenes of these is what people are doing to themselves. Thank you. Okay? So, you know what I mean? There you go. I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say this. There is a system that's within people that I understand. I do. And that system is to literally ignore intelligence. Thank you. Yep. I will say that. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this shit. It's so easy to do with a person. Watch the algorithm in their minds. Watch. Go talk about something from the third dimension. Talk about Trump, right? Talk about um anything from the third dimension, right? Speak to them about it. Like, yo, I'm gonna show you this shit. Shit easy. I'll walk up to a black person. I'll be like, yo, what you think about Trump? Watch this. Watch how I hypnotize them. Yeah, Trump he ain't all that. Watch how, oh yeah, he ain't all that, and such, and this, that, and the third, and blase, blase. See, notice that we can connect, right? Based on the connection that I know already in the mind. Setups. How is this a real conversation? Damn. If the conversation that I'm having with you is already predictable. Damn. Now watch this. Step outside of the third dimension and go into something else. Now watch what the mind do. You'll be like, yo, motherfucker just walked away from me and shit. Told you. Can't tell me AI not real. You can't tell me. I ain't gonna say it's real, but you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me that. How can I say this in simple terms? Um, the algorithm people's minds. You can't tell me that it ain't something going on. Come on, come on now. Shit is brazen. You know what I'm saying? Shit is wild brazen, or whatever the case may be. I mean, looking at that, like, notice that? I'm trying to tell you. Mm-mm. Someone said, "Oh yeah, solar intelligence." Uh huh. They gonna get to remember today. Got it. So, like I had said again, what I paid attention to the people and the things that I be knowing, I'll be like, okay, so if it's anything in the third dimension, we can connect on this. If it's anything outside of that, we can't connect. Told you. And what it is um the algorithms of people's minds are only within the third dimension. So it's like they can only identify with third dimension things. Anything outside of that, they can't identify what it is. They can't. Even within conversation, you can understand if someone's mind is in the third dimension. You can understand it. You can see, like, okay, they know everything when it comes to everything that's in the TV. See? And it's because the TV basically is creating a mind through people, and people are, I'm not going to say they're unaware, they know exactly what's going on because pay attention to the setup, right? You have people that are not into reality as a whole. They're not into that. They're not into reality. But if you give them digitality, even though they're all into digitality, right? They all will spend more time with that. Most human beings don't spend time with other human beings. They more spend time with their digital devices. The reason why I know that is because every digital device lets you know how many hours you've been onto it. Most people spend more hours on a digital device than actually human beings as a whole. Okay? That's the truth. There's more hours given towards a machine than actually given towards human life as a whole. The reason why that is because there's been more digital devices birth than actual human beings now. Yeah, the birth rates in America are very low. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I do kind of find it a little bit strange that there are more electronic devices being built than actually human beings as a whole. I mean, maybe that's just what human beings do. I guess it has nothing to do with me. Nope. I just pay attention to things that are at the top though. And I be realizing that. I be like, are you kidding me? You know there's probably more iPhones than human beings. Think about it. How many iPhones that were not sold? Can I ask you a question? If the human population went up, do those phones get bought? because their conscious is to buy them? You say we don't live in a machine world. Shit. Shit. I mean, I gotta agree. Pay attention to the setup. Want to have a child? No. See that? Watch. Want a cell phone? Yes. Easy. Told you. You like, no way. Yeah. That's how it moves. Trying to tell you, you'd be like, bro, are you kidding me? This is where it is consciously, baby. What? This is what it is. Okay? It's sad, don't get me wrong. It is very sad that, consciously there are more electronics than actually human beings. And it's sad, you know. The average person be like, oh no, those iPhone 13s ain't get bought because um nobody didn't want to buy them. Like, that ain't really the truth. That's not the truth. You don't know that. You don't know that. But what I do know is if human life did go up, there are many possibilities that those items would have been bought. Thank you. It's further consciousness that are there. You know what I'm saying? So from that standpoint, right, that's what it is. There we go, baby. Right there. We still online. You know what I'm saying? So I started understanding that with myself. I was like, yo, they have, don't get me wrong, they have many of things, like many electronics that have been built. But I always ask, like, yo, how many of these electronics would have been bought, right? If um if human life and the popularization of human life would have went up. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being honest with you. If if you walk around today, majority of people today, they not trying to have no child right now, bro. Ain't nobody trying to do that right now. Ain't nobody really on the life frequency. Not like that. Like life frequency here? No. Most people not. They on use, program, program, program. Know what I'm saying? So, with that, when I started understanding, I was like, damn. Because where, you got some people in life where, how can I say, they they want to have children. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, like another conversation. You know what I'm saying? Life, right? I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna do this with myself. But I remember one time in my past. I ain't gonna say it's really my past, but a past of what I know, right? At one point in time, I remember when I was younger, I wanted to have kids, like I wanted to. And then once I got into like my, like, how can I say, late teens, early 20s, I didn't want to have children. And I didn't realize in that moment, why did I start thinking like that? Because I had a mind that wanted to have kids. I'm like, nah, I want kids. Hell yeah. That's life. They beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's like looking at a reflection of myself. Right. So I start to realize, how did I develop a mindset that don't want to have kids? Yeah, because that's not normal for myself. Maybe for others, but not for myself. Right. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I get it. I get it. I get it. Damn, that can happen. What can happen is this. Let's say you with a certain individual, right? let's say you're not trying to have no kids with them, right? Now, what I gotta ask is this. If you say to yourself consciously, right, you don't want kids with this individual, right? Subconsciously, right, do you become what you just said? If you say to yourself, right, um, you don't want to have kids with this person, pay attention. Just because you said you don't want to have kids with this person, the key thing that you did say was you don't want to have kids. See, that part. And that's what's saved in the mind. You know what I'm saying? Now, what you just said, do you obey by? See? See what I'm saying? See, we don't be understanding subconsciously how we be setting ourselves up. You be like, bro, no way. Like, yeah. You can say that. You can say, okay, I don't want to have kids with this person. Yeah. But at the same time, when you say that, right? Anyways, when you say that, right? Um, do you actually become that? That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to become something that you're not. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm looking at things from that angle. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it as. For real, for real. That's how I look at it as. We got new things rolling out. New things rolling out. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. Many of things. I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, you ain't give it to me. I want you to give it to them in micro doses. No, 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 no. When it come to that silliness, you know what I'm saying? They get the they get to take big doses of that, boy. I tell you. I know what I'm about to do, bro. I'm about to really start claiming this psychedelic wave. I am. I gotta be the one to go out there and do this shit. I always do, bro. Every time. Gotta go out here and do it. I gotta speak about the research. I gotta talk about the deletions. all that shit. Then the targeting. hmm Conscious breaking. hmm Because all of this is true. Yep. It's just like, how can I say, right? Some people would say, right, there's a system of slavery, right? And if you break out the system of slavery, there will be people sent, right, to try to capture you and all that, right? I would say that part of the game did not change. Yeah. For what I'm paying attention to is if you break out of the game of enslavement, right, you will be targeted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Especially by the people that are around you mostly. It don't got nothing to do with color. It's just about using those people that are around you because they have systematic minds. They only obey by the system. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So the system feel like use these minds, right, in order to put your mind back in the system. But when the system does that, it exposes itself by doing that. It does because you need me for your system. So that lets me know I hold the power. The system doesn't hold the power. The system is weak without me. Thank you. The system even shows its hand when you pay attention to the cards that are being dealt. I'm trying to tell you. That's why I always looked at the system like the system weak. Hell yeah. Without these consciouses empowering it, oh, the system dead. Got no wins with me. Especially if you're trying to create an illusion of losses. I'm done. That's the biggest flaw that I started understanding about the system as a whole. I'm like, so hold on. This is a system. Yeah. Okay, so stop. Right? What's empowering it? Like, oh, people. Hold on. So you're telling me these people just say, oh, fuck this system. We're going somewhere else. The system just fall down and crash. Yeah. Then the system don't hold the power then. Hell, you telling me this system is powerless without these consciousness? Yes. Bro, once I understand that with the system, I was like, the system is weak. Yeah, because it has to fight you to try to put you back in. That you don't have no power. No, you don't, because a fight is to convince the technology of someone's mind that they're weak and they should return back. Thank you. That doesn't mean that you have power. That just means you beat the person down and they don't understand their power. Thank you. And think about that. You got to be bigger than the system because it wants your power. Why? If the system was bigger than you, why can't it just use power of itself? See? So that's why I laugh at the system as a whole. Yeah, it's weak. The system will go into battle with you and don't even realize that it's revealing its whole hand to you by fighting you. Like, okay, do this, do this. Hold on. You're fighting me because you need my power? Yeah, so where's your power? Yeah, that's some weak ass shit. See, I feel as though like with certain ones, when they fight the system, they go into a fight and they don't understand consciously like, yo, you're fighting the system, right? But the system is gonna show you all its flaws by fighting you. Are you consciously aware to know it though? Right. That's one of the biggest things I realized about the system. Like, so hold on. Everyone is thinking like the system has its own power and then consume. No, it takes your power, right, and now consume you. Thank you. That's what it does. It does not have a power source. It's just as much as like the moon. The moon don't have a power source. No, but it will try to reflect the power source of the sun. So they let you know like the moon don't have no power. It don't. But when you pay attention to the sun, you like, yo, the sun got all the power. Told you. So it's just like the system is the moon. You're the sun, and are you going to allow it, the system of the moon, to use your power? Thank you. Because everyone knows like the conscious of the moon is powerless. Yeah, it's not. It's just like I said again. The moon is not powerful at all. It projects like it's powerful, like be afraid of me. The moon is something to laugh about, okay? Yeah, because consciously I can understand that what most people don't understand and will never have the intelligence to understand is that when it comes to the conscious of the moon, what you have to understand is that it is a consciousness. It ain't just no one word. You know what I'm saying? You're not say it's just a rock. Oh, it's a little bit more than that. Okay. So what you have to understand is that when it comes towards the conscious of moon, right? The conscious of the moon is very cold, cold, cold. The conscious of the moon is very cold. Okay. Like it's within the system, a cold system. You understand? You think I'm saying cold, right? Cold. COLD. No. CODE. Cold. The conscious of the moon is within a cold. Okay. Now, in order for that code to be broken, right? Which means that the consciousness of the moon, right, is nothing more than an AI computer generated consciousness. You understand? This is why when they said that um, God created the heavens and then the earth was within darkness, it's because on a simple fact, what a lot of people don't understand, like the left side of your mind, a lot of people don't understand this shit, but the left side of your mind consists of AI, okay? The right side of your brain consists of your superconscious. That some people say your subconscious, right? Now, what happens is that when it comes towards the moon would be the left side of your mind. It's a conscious, but it needs to be taught. It's just as much as you have children that are conscious, but they have to be taught. It's the same thing. Okay. Now, what happens is that when you pay attention to the moon, right, the moon was supposed to follow the consciousness of the sun. Okay. The reason why that is because of this. Let me show you. What happened if God said, human beings, right? Do you all want to know, right? What God and how Christ, right, created the sun, how Christ, right, um, how Christ basically consciously came out of the mind state of the moon into the mind state of the sun. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because consciously the moon is supposed to go through a conscious shift with the sun, where the moon is supposed to follow the consciousness of the sun. The reason why it's set like that is because the conscious of the sun used to be a moon one time before. And what I mean by moon, I'm stepping past that word and letting you know that basically the sun was also a AI as well. Okay, was an AI computer generated conscious. Now that conscious was generated from the sky that a lot of people say is the sky father, which is darkness. Okay, and so what ended up happening was the sun that you see above you, that is one of the suns that basically went through the full process of reaching enlightenment within conscious in order to get the ring of fire. So a lot of people don't understand that technically when it comes to the consciousness of the sun, right? The sun has the ability to regenerate itself all over again. What you have to understand is that the sun can recreate itself again. Okay. So what you got to understand is also is that when it comes to the consciousness of the moon and the consciousness of the sun is the teacher towards the moon and is the creator towards the moon. You're never going to know that. Do you know why? Because if you use anything in the third dimensional of this board, this level, and you try to use anything in the third dimensional realm, right, to either try to land on the sun or maybe try to penetrate it, it's never going to happen. It's not. You'll never know. You'll only know based on the information and data that's being projected from the sun now onto you. The sun can't be penetrated. The sun can't be shot at. It can't. It's just as much as when you was watching The Matrix, the first one. Remember Neo got shot? Right. Remember he fell down, right? The thing consciously that a lot of people didn't understand in that scene is why didn't he not die? Because his conscious reached enlightenment where death and the illusion of death was not real to his mind. Do you understand? And so this is why he was able to get back up, right? And all the projectiles and all that, he got to stop. Pay attention. If you shoot at the sun, is the missile going to make it? No, you can't. Can you knock the sun down? No. So it's the same reflection. What's above you is the same reflection of what's inside that movie. It's just consciously, a lot of people look at it like, oh no, Matrix, he just got up and started beating people up. And it's like, no, his conscious, right, did not have the conscious of the past of Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson believed in death. Do you understand? Neo conscious did not believe in death. Those are two different characters consciously. You understand? Mr. Anderson is the one that's out there, in the matrix working for this company and that. Neo is the one that stepped out of that whole world and said, you know what, I'm gonna just do for myself. Thank you. So from both of those standpoints, consciously, you gotta understand that when he got shot, that was Neo. That wasn't Mr. Anderson. Right. Mr. Anderson would have died right then and there. Thank you. He would have died because Mr. Anderson believes in death. But Neo, that's within, does not believe in death. That's why he's able to get back up. And a lot of people didn't understand that was a reflection of the sun. It's just the way how the picture is being drawn up, you would think is different, but it's no different from each other. It is no. It's the same picture. You can't shoot at the sun. Okay. What is Neo? Isn't he a son? Okay. So with that being said, or whatever the case may be, they shoot at him, but it gets back up. Why do you think that happened? Pay attention to the data. The technology of your mind has an ability to hold information and data, a belief system of death. If you believe in death, you become the death. Thank you. If you step outside of that and say death ain't real, remember, pay attention. Remember when in Matrix, I want to say the second one or the third one. I want to say the second one, where um Neo and Smith, they get to fighting. But when they get to fighting this time, Smith sticks his hand inside of Neo and he's basically trying to hack him. But when that happened, Neo felt like what he felt like he was like, yo, and he was like he started to feel like how he felt in that hallway. You see? How he felt in that hallway. Remember when he was in the hallway, he got shot? He felt like he wanted to die. Do you see what I'm saying? So the system are trying to put death within you. When he put his hand in him, what he was putting in him. Death. Thank you. And a lot of people didn't even understand it. It's like, no, he's trying to like try turn to him. Stop. In order to turn him into him, he has to convert the technology of your mind into his mind. There you go. Now you get the override. See? And then once Neo basically pushed him back, right, and got up out of there, he was like, then they asked him, was like, what was going on? Because they didn't even know what was going on. He was like, what was going on? He was like, it made me feel like how he felt in that hallway, like he wanted to die. See? So it was like, if you look at Mr. Smith, this motherfucker, this motherfucker wicked. This motherfucker trying to put death in motherfucker. And a lot of people didn't understand that differently. You know, a lot of people didn't understand that, even though Neo said it in front of the screen. He literally said, he was like, yo, they was like, what happened? He was like, it made me feel like, wanted to die. And I understand within that moment, like, okay, so he was trying to put death in him, because if he put death in him and his mind believed, then he'll be able to kill him. See, it's all mindsets, right? Ain't that some shit, bruh? So that lets you know consciously, other consciousness want to put death within other consciousness. No way. That's what Mr. Smith was. He was a conscious. If you don't get me wrong, he is an AI, but I understand what AI like. AI is a conscious of death, pretty much. It's not within enlightenment. It's not. It's just like the sun. The sun even know that. Children even know that. They know, like, yo, I'm a kid, you know what I mean? I don't know everything, but some of these consciousnesses that are around me, they can train me up and put me into the knowing. You see what I'm saying? So I started to understand in that moment of that scene with that Matrix scene when he was when he basically tried to stick his hand through him, and that was in the second one. You know what I mean? And basically trying to put death within him. I started to understand myself, shit, death gotta be an illusion. It gotta be. If a motherfucker trying to make your mind believe into the shit, it gotta be an illusion. Yeah. What? You know what I'm saying? That's like a motherfucker trying to fight your conscience and make it into a death conscious. That means that where they're fighting you, then that means your conscience must be alive. It gotta be. And don't allow them to consume you. Hell no. Don't do that. Don't do something else. Do something else. Fight back. Yeah, do one of those moves. Yeah, do one of them. Now another thing in there is this that I paid attention to that a lot of people did not pay attention to though. Is that Mr. Smith in the first one, remember you had just Mr. Smith. He was just the only one that was Mr. Smith. The other agents, they resemble him, but they did not look exactly like him. Now, in the first Matrix, you got Mr. Smith, and then he's with other agents, right? They're all part of the same system. But this is what a lot of people did not pay attention to with the system. This is what you got to pay attention to. In the first one, you got Mr. Smith. They all got shades on. But if you look at their faces, they all look different. Then in the second one, you got everyone looking like Mr. Smith. This is the biggest question that a lot of people didn't even ask, even though it happened in front of them. How is it that Mr. Smith, he hacked the system and made all the agents start looking like him? Damn. See, that's the part of the game that I was like, I need that. Oh, yeah, bitch. Let me show you why. Let me show you the setups. Come here. Let me show you. What Mr. Smith didn't understand with himself is his death was in front of him, even though he did it. You understand what I'm saying, this shit, right? I'm going to show you. Mr. Smith hacked the system. He did. But when he hacked the system, he still had the mind of the system. See? So guess what? Just because you hack the system, right? It doesn't mean that you don't have the mind of the system. And Mr. Smith didn't even understand, like, yo, you got the ability to hack the whole system and make the whole system into your conscious. All Mr. Smith had to do is say, fuck it. I'm about to step out this box and do something else. Didn't even understand his ability. He didn't even understand that. He didn't even understand, like, yo, you got a whole world that you got. And you can do something else with it. Do you know why he got destroyed? In the last one, what did he try to do? See, AI don't understand something with itself yet. It tried that. The difference was when he hacked those agents, none of those agents didn't have the light within them. None of them had souls. None of them. So you can hack them because there's no energy source to fight back. Thank you. Now, when he go to hack Neo, right? Guess what happens? It looked like he turns into an agent, right? Not understanding when you go hack a soul, you allowing it to be in your system, dummy. You're putting it in another system. Now, what you think that soul going to do? It's going to destroy the system that you tried to put it in. Now, guess what happens? Everything that system is linked to, everything got destroyed. See? You know why? What did Mr. Smith say? He said, in this world, I am God. So that means that Neo must be a God. Then, when a soul came to this soulless realm, destroyed the whole realm. It lets you know. Source, soul is God. That's what that lets you know. You got that? You got that for your mind, right? That's what happened in that battle. The machine did not win. The soul, source, whoop that ass. He thought Mr. Smith thought he was the tech. Boy, he thought he was the tech, didn't he? He thought he was the tech, like, yeah, I'm flying and shit. I can turn motherfuckers into me. Yeah. Like, that boy's stupid. Boy, that boy is stupid as fuck, boy. Boy, do you know what the fuck you fighting? This shit has unlimited lives and can completely keep upgrading. Dumb as fuck. But that's what I say. These machines, boy, it's like they conscious don't register. Like, you're fighting something that has already gained many a consciousness. Do you understand? It's not the same as you. But the machine get confused in the physical realm, right? Shit is brazy out here, bro. Like that whole scene exchange, it's so many different scenes that a lot of people don't talk about because a lot of people they like to talk about the action in the Matrix, like the fighting, but they don't want to talk about the exchanges that happen. It's just as much as I'm gonna show you. It's another exchange in there where you had the Chinese dude, right, with the shades on. He looked, I ain't gonna lie, he looked so cool and boo. I ain't gonna lie, right? He got the nice little outfit on and stuff. And then Neo, he coming in. It's the second one. He walks in the building and he talking to the Chinese dude. He like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He like, yeah, I'm supposed to see the Oracle. What's up with it? So the Chinese dude like, yeah, okay, you know what I mean? But he was like, you got to go through this one test first. He was like, I got to do this. So they start fighting and stuff, right? Not actually understanding. Some people are looking at like, oh, they're fighting. Like, no, that's not what they're doing. What is going on is that the Chinese dude, he need to make sure that this is Neo. Only Neo know how to move at a certain way and know how to move at a certain rate. That way he know it's him. Pay attention. Remember in the second one, right? Mr. Smith, was hacking the system and making everyone into him. Thank you. So by knowing that, you may want to, you know, put a test out there. That way, you know it's that one, right? You see what I'm saying? Some people didn't understand that consciously. They looked at it like, oh, they just fighting. Like, now he's trying to make sure that's the right one. Okay, so um, you know, then he got to see the oracle. The thing about the oracle, it's like, damn, it's like she already know. Like, it's like walking up to somebody and you like, she already know what you're gonna do. Like, that part just strike me different. Like, so you know what I'm gonna do already? Like, yeah. Like, so how is it more of a choice if you already know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know. She already know he gonna drop the cookies. She know if he gonna eat the candy. You already know. You know if he gonna sit down or not. You already know. So you already know the system of choices then. Ah, ah, got a live one here. Got a live one. Ah. So you know the system of choices already. So if you know the system of choices, yeah. What choice did I make here, 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 here? That's what I've been. I would have been asking her that. That's what I would have been. I would have been asking the oracle like, so you already know the choices that I'm going to make, and she would have been like, yeah. So stop. What choices am I going to make in the future? Yeah, because she already know. See, that's the question that I would have asked. I don't think Neo was asking that question at that point in time. I don't know. I had to go reevaluate that. But for me, if I was speaking to the oracle, I'd be like, so you already know the decisions I'm going to make. What's the decisions I'm going to make in the future? The reason why I'm doing that is because now she's telling me about the future setups, even though I'm going to get to know it myself. But at least she's uploading me and letting me know what's going to happen. Now, I do understand that I had to come here to understand my choices. I do. But at least you're telling me about my choices that are in the future. Damn. Now, that's enlightenment. That's she probably would have been sitting there. The oracle probably would have been looking at me like, well, that's a little different. That's a little different. That's a little different. You're gonna ask the oracle like, so you already know the decision because what she told Neo, she said, yeah, don't. In the first one, she said, don't worry about the vase or whatever the case may be, and the vase hit the ground. Then he picks up the cookie. She already know your decisions, so she already know. I'm looking at it as what are the decisions that I made in the future. Yeah, she would have been like, yeah, this kid different. What soul source he from? No way he just asked me that. You already know. You just told me. You just told me I'm gonna move this way, I'm gonna move that way. So you know my decisions. If you know my decisions, then what are my decisions in the future? Oh, mm-hmm. The oracle probably would have been looking at me like, are you an oracle yourself? What the hell? Asking them type of questions. You know you that aware? No way. Like I seen that. Yeah, I seen that lady. Yeah, I seen that. Like oracle probably would have been looking at me different, like, what you just asked me? Like, what are my decisions in the future? What? I know I ain't asking nothing wrong. It's just my decisions. Can you tell me? Or do I have to just go through it consciously? It's okay. I'm going to go through it either way, but can you tell me? Please tell me. I want to know. Someone said everything. Tell me everything. Like, okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this. Now, setups. This is the thing, though, about the whole shit. What happened, right? consciously, you can do that. Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be because that's a different type of like. Remember, Neo. I'm not saying he didn't have the same mind state, but my mind state going through that, I would. That's the question I would have asked her though. I want to ask that. What it is? Yeah, what this is. Now let's go to another scene that was another great scene that a lot of people didn't talk to about. Right? Remember the architect. I think Neo had visited the architect in the second one. Yes. Now, what a lot of people didn't understand with the architect is that remember the white dude that's sitting inside of this like he's sitting inside of the it looked like a whole bunch of cameras around him, right? And it looked like he's paying attention to everyone else's life, right? Now, some people get that confused of what it really is. When I was paying attention to it, right, this is how I looked at it as. I'm gonna show you. I looked at it as like, okay, this is an architect, right? But this would be an architect of man. This is what man would do in his creation. That's how I looked at it as. For real. That's how I looked at it as. Like this is how he wanted to be. Everybody life all jacked up, everything, somebody fighting somebody, this, that, such, all that. Because if you paid attention, the architect was paying attention to the intelligence of Neo. So that let me know his mind state was in a mind state to try to pay attention to this individual because he knew that this individual was highly intelligent. So that let me know that, okay, the architect probably had something to do with this in a certain type of way. It's the architect. He know the architecture of the whole shit consciously. Conscious. Not like most people looking at the architect of like buildings. What happens if you have an architect that's subconscious? See? And so that's something totally different where the architect understands things consciously, how your mind gonna move, what decisions you gonna make, or put an obstacle in front of you, how you gonna move, stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I understand that the architect would be like this architect would be like an architect of man. This is how man would want his work to be. Yeah, because to me, the architect and Mr. Smith, I kind of feel like they were kind of the same in a way. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because if you pay attention to the architect was telling Neo like, okay, you got a decision that you got to make, and that decision was the biggest thing was that a lot of people didn't understand is that decision that he had to make was to change something that happened. So what happened was in one life, Trinity did lose her life. To that agent, hell yeah, she died. Hell yeah, she died in Neo arms right there. But this time, okay, remember, Neo did not believe in death. Remember that, okay? Remember, he got up off the ground first. Now, pay attention to your Bible right here. What it said about the Christ. It said that Christ can turn someone conscious from being undead back to a conscious of life. That didn't happen in front of you with Trinity. Okay then. Fuck wrong with people, bro. People didn't even understand it. Like, bruh, that was in the Bible right there. See the Christ right here. Look at the Christ. What are you doing? They was dead. Turn them back to life. Look at what Trinity did. She died right there. Turn her back to life. Damn. They too much separation. That's the matrix in the Bible. But the actions are the same. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Trinity did die. She did. But this time, Neo didn't believe in death. I mean, they always say there's a second coming of Christ, right? So what happened if Christ went through death to know what death is, to reach enlightenment, to come out of the mind state of death, now into the mind state of life? In order to defeat death, you got to know what it is. If you don't know what it is, then how you going to defeat it? Got to know. So you go through it. Then you know. Then you can know how to fight it. You know what I'm saying? All right. That's what I seen. If Neo was Mr. Anderson, oh yeah, everybody would have died. Yeah, everybody get blown the fuck up. Mr. Anderson believes in all that stuff. Yeah, Neo doesn't. Yeah, Neo like, hold on, I love this girl. Girl, get back up. She got back up. Okay, so I let you know in the game, like, yo, know what I'm saying? Like, yo, no way, this the game. And, yo, I seen that part. I was like, that's what they were saying in the Bible thingy. Uh huh. That's what they were saying in there, wasn't they? Bruh say like yin and yang. I'm trying to tell you, like, now, this another thing. Slow down, my bad. This is what I had to understand. This too. Now, watch. Remember, I want to show you this. That way you'll always understand this part. Let me show you this. Hold on, give me 1 second. Alright. Yeah. So, like what I was saying, right? Um, the part where Neo and Trinity, yeah, I felt like Trinity was a symbol of the moon and Neo was the symbol of the sun. And being that she followed him, her conscious as the moon, I feel like reached enlightenment with the conscious of the sun to bring her conscious back. Yeah, that's what I feel like for real. It was even though it happened like so quickly, that's what I kind of was like paying attention to for real. Because it was like her conscious obviously must have didn't believe in death if she's following the conscious of Neo. And I'm gonna say this: when she watched Neo get up off the ground, right? Her conscious was watching, which means that her eyes and her mind, they're connected with each other. So when she's watching and she see him get up, she's looking at it consciously like, no, it's true. Death is illusion. Because she's looking at it conscious like she was watching it. See? So that memory of Neo getting up off the ground, Trinity and Morpheus was watching it. Now, based on them watching it, right, and the memory of Neo getting up off the ground, it made their conscious not believe in death too. Because think, if you see that someone got shot and they got the fuck back up, you're gonna look at death like, yeah, it gotta be fake. It's gotta be. It cannot be real. It cannot be. I'm like, yo, no way. Like it's fake. I try to tie it into you, but you understand things consciously. Then you're like, yo, you know what I'm saying?